Steve Harvey was hosting what seemed like a normal Family Feud showing until something happened that made him stop the show completely and abandon the game. The Mitchell family from Georgia was celebrating a stolen answer worth 68 points when a phone call revealed that some friendships are so powerful even 20 years can't break their bond. Sarah Mitchell, 42 years old, stood at the end of her family's line trying to focus on the game. It was March 15, 2017, and while her family was doing well, up by 40 points against the Rodriguez family from Arizona, Sarah kept touching an old friendship bracelet on her wrist. The braided threads were faded now, purple and gold barely visible, but she'd worn it every day for 21 years. Her husband David noticed her fidgeting during the commercial break. "You okay, honey? You've been quiet all morning." Sarah forced a smile. "Just thinking about Jenny. You know how I get this time of year." Every March, Sarah thought about her college roommate Jennifer. They'd been inseparable at Louisiana State University from 1994 to 98. More than roommates, they were sisters by choice. They'd planned to be each other's maids of honor, godmothers to each other's kids, friends, until they were old and gray. But life had other plans. Steve noticed Sarah's distraction when they returned from commercial. He'd developed an instinct for reading people after all these years. "Sarah, you look like you got something heavy on your mind." "It's silly," Sarah said, embarrassed. "I'm standing here possibly winning money on Family Feud, and I'm thinking about my old college roommate. We lost touch 20 years ago, and I just miss her." "That's not silly at all," Steve said warmly. "Tell me about her." Sarah's eyes lit up, despite the sadness. "Jennifer Martinez. We met first day of freshman year. She was from California. I was from Georgia. And somehow we just clicked. We did everything together. Started a tutoring program for kids in Baton Rouge. Organized fundraisers. Stayed up all night talking about changing the world. She was going to be a teacher. I was going to be a social worker. We were going to stay best friends forever." "So what happened?" Steve asked gently. "Life," Sarah said simply. After graduation, she got an amazing teaching opportunity with a special program. Very selective, very secretive. They worked with at-risk youth, helping them get into college. She had to sign all these confidentiality agreements, couldn't tell anyone where she was going. The program moved teachers around a lot for training. She called when she could, but it was sporadic. Then one day, the calls just stopped. Her phone was disconnected. Her email bounced back. It was like she just vanished. Sarah's voice cracked. "I tried everything. Called her parents, but they'd moved. Searched online for years. Even hired someone to look for her 5 years ago. Nothing. I don't even know if she's okay, if she's happy, if she remembers me." The studio was quiet. Everyone feeling the weight of a friendship lost to time and circumstance. Steve was about to respond when it happened. Sarah's phone rang. The ringtone was distinctive. "You've Got a Friend" by James Taylor. The same song she and Jennifer had sung badly but enthusiastically during countless road trips. Sarah's face went white. That's our song," she whispered. "But nobody knows that except—" "Answer it," Steve said immediately. Sarah's shaking hands fumbled with the phone, accidentally hitting speaker in her nervousness. A professional voice came through clearly. "Mrs. Mitchell, this is Director Patricia Coleman from the National Education Outreach Foundation. I'm calling about Jennifer Martinez." Sarah grabbed her husband's arm. The studio was dead silent. "Is she okay?" Sarah's voice was barely a whisper. "Please, is Jenny okay?" "She's more than okay, Mrs. Mitchell. She's extraordinary. For the past 20 years, Jennifer has been working with our foundation. We place exceptional teachers in communities that need them most. But the nature of our work requires discretion. Many of our teachers work with children in witness protection, refugee resettlement programs, and other sensitive situations." Sarah's legs were shaking. "But why are you calling me?" "Because Jennifer Martinez has talked about you every single day for 20 years. You're the reason she became a teacher. The tutoring program you started together in college? She's recreated it in 17 cities. She's helped over 3,000 at-risk youth get into college. And last month, when she was finally promoted to a position that doesn't require the same level of confidentiality, The first thing she said was, "Now I can finally find Sarah." Tears were streaming down Sarah's face. "She remembered me?" "Remembered you, Mrs. Mitchell." She wore her half of a friendship bracelet every day. "Purple and gold," she said, "for LSU." She told every student about her best friend Sarah, who taught her that one person really could change the world. She just had to do it quietly for a while. Steve Harvey stepped back, visibly moved. The entire studio was emotional, but Director Coleman wasn't finished. "Mrs. Mitchell, Jennifer has been looking for you for 3 months. When she found out you'd be on Family Feud today, she saw a post your daughter made on social media. She called us immediately. She's been on a plane for the last 4 hours. In fact, she should be." "Sarah?" The voice came from the side of the stage. 21 years fell away in an instant as Jennifer Martinez walked onto the Family Feud stage. She looked older, of course, with laugh lines and a few gray hairs, but she was wearing a purple and gold friendship bracelet identical to Sarah's. Sarah didn't run. She couldn't. Her legs wouldn't work. So Jennifer ran to her, and they collided in an embrace that 21 years of separation couldn't diminish. They held each other, crying and laughing simultaneously, speaking in half sentences that only they understood. "I never stopped looking. I wanted to call so many times. Your bracelet. I wore it every day. 3,000 kids, Jenny. 3,000. Because of what you taught me." Steve gave them several moments before gently approaching with his microphone. "Jennifer, tell us about these 21 years." Jennifer wiped her eyes but didn't let go of Sarah's hand. "Mr. Harvey, when I joined the National Education Outreach Foundation, I thought it would be for a year or two. But the work, these kids needed help so desperately. Foster children, aging out of the system. Refugee children who'd never been to school. Kids whose parents were in witness protection. I couldn't leave." "But you couldn't contact anyone?" Steve asked. "The program required complete confidentiality to protect the children. Some were escaping dangerous situations. Others had parents testifying in major cases. We had to be ghosts, essentially. No social media. No traceable contacts. It was the hardest part of the job, losing touch with everyone I loved. But I told myself it was worth it, if it kept those kids safe." Sarah squeezed her hand. 3,000 kids, Jenny. You helped 3,000 kids get to college." Jennifer smiled through her tears. "And every single one heard about you. About how Sarah Mitchell now, taught me that education could change lives. How we spent our Friday nights tutoring instead of partying. How you convinced me I could make a difference." "But I didn't do anything," Sarah protested. "You're the one who sacrificed everything. You don't know, do you?" Jennifer turned to face her fully. "Sarah, you changed my life. That night sophomore year when I wanted to quit school because I couldn't afford it, you gave me your textbook money. When I got pneumonia junior year and missed 3 weeks of class, you recorded every lecture, took double notes, tutored me until I caught up. You showed me what real friendship looked like. Every child I helped because you showed me how." The studio was in tears. Both families had abandoned their positions and gathered around the two friends. Steve had to take off his glasses to wipe his eyes. 21 years, Steve said softly. "That's a lot of life to catch up on. Sarah, tell Jennifer what she's missed." Sarah laughed through her tears. "I married David. You remember David from sociology class? We have 3 kids. Emma's 18, starting college next year. The twins, Josh and Ella, are 15. And Jenny. I became a social worker, just like we planned. I run programs for homeless families. Remember how we used to talk about opening a center that combined education and social services?" "The Dream Center," Jennifer whispered. "We drew up plans on napkins at the campus coffee shop." "I've been trying to open one for 5 years, Sarah said. "But funding is impossible. I've written grant after grant. Actually, Jennifer interrupted, looking slightly guilty. That's another reason I'm here. The foundation. We've been incredibly successful. Our alumni have gone on to amazing careers. Tech entrepreneurs, doctors, lawyers. They've created an endowment. And last month they asked me what project I wanted to fund to honor my 20 years of service. Sarah's eyes widened. Jenny, no. I told them about the Dream Center. Your Dream Center. Our Dream Center. They approved $5 million in funding. Sarah's knees buckled. David caught her, and Jennifer helped steady her. The studio erupted in applause, but Jennifer wasn't finished. There's one condition, she said, smiling. I'm done with the confidential placements. I've trained my replacements. The foundation wants me to co-direct the center. If you'll have me as a partner after all these years. Sarah couldn't speak. She just nodded, pulling Jennifer into another hug. Steve Harvey stepped forward, clearly moved by what he'd witnessed. You know what? Family Feud is going to contribute too. Whatever you win today, we're multiplying it by 10 for the Dream Center. He turned to both families. In fact, forget the competition. Both families win. Full prize money to both. The Rodriguez family immediately agreed, with their grandmother stepping forward. Mija, I was a teacher for 40 years. What you two are doing, this is beautiful. We want to help too. What followed was pure magic. Jennifer revealed that she'd brought letters, hundreds of them, from students she'd taught over the years. Many mentioned Miss Martinez's friend Sarah and how their teacher's stories of friendship had inspired them. Look at this one, Jennifer said, pulling out a worn letter. Maria Gonzalez, first-generation college student. She's at Harvard Medical School now. She wrote, You taught me that real friendship means lifting each other up. You and Sarah showed me that success means bringing others with you. Sarah was sobbing openly now. You kept our story alive. It kept me alive, Jennifer said simply. On the hardest days, when I missed home, missed you, missed having a normal life, I'd remember our dreams. I'd remember you believing in me. And I knew that someday, somehow, we'd find each other again. Steve asked them to recreate their old LSU cheer, which they did with laughing enthusiasm, both families joining in. The studio audience gave them a standing ovation. But the most powerful moment came when Sarah's daughter Emma approached Jennifer. Are you really the Jennifer from All Mom Stories? Emma asked. The one who stayed up all night to help her study for the GRE? Who convinced her not to give up on Dad when they had that fight senior year? Who made her believe she could actually make a difference? Jennifer nodded, tears fresh in her eyes. And you must be Emma. Born September 15th, 2000. Your mom sent me one announcement before I had to change addresses again. I've carried it in my wallet for 18 years. She pulled out a weathered birth announcement. Emma's baby picture, carefully preserved. Sarah lost it completely, embracing her friend again. I had 2 more kids, Sarah said. Twins. You're going to be their Aunt Jenny now. They need to know you. They need to know this story. Steve Harvey gathered everyone for final thoughts. Ladies and gentlemen, what we've witnessed today is the power of true friendship. 21 years of separation, thousands of miles, complete loss of contact. But real friendship, real love, that doesn't die. He turned to Jennifer. You sacrificed 21 years of normal life to help 3,000 kids find their futures. That's heroic. Jennifer shook her head. The real hero is Sarah. She showed me what it meant to serve others when we were just 18 years old. I spent 21 years trying to live up to the example she set. And I spent 21 years trying to find my best friend, Sarah added. Wearing this bracelet every day, telling my kids about Aunt Jenny, who was somewhere out there changing the world. The episode ended with an announcement. The Mitchell Martinez Dream Center would break ground in 6 months, offering integrated services for homeless families, education, job training, childcare, and social services, all under one roof. Corporate sponsors had already pledged support. The waiting list was already growing. But perhaps the most beautiful moment came during the credits, when the cameras caught Sarah and Jennifer sitting on the Family Feud stage, legs dangling off the edge like they were back in their dorm room. They were talking rapidly, catching up on 2 decades of life. Their friendship bracelet-adorned wrists gesturing animatedly. "My kids are going to love you," Sarah was saying. "Emma wants to be a teacher now. She's going to flip when she hears about your work." "Does David still make that terrible spaghetti?" Jennifer asked, laughing. "It's worse now," he adds Cale. "Jenny, I can't believe you're here. I can't believe this is real." "We have so much time to make up for," Jennifer said. "But we have time now. All the time in the world." When the episode aired 3 weeks later, it broke Family Feud ratings records. But more importantly, it sparked a national conversation about friendship, sacrifice, and service. The National Education Outreach Foundation received 1,000 new teacher applications. Sarah and Jennifer's story inspired reunions across the country as people reached out to long-lost friends. The Mitchell-Martinez Dream Center opened 8 months later. At the ribbon cutting, Sarah and Jennifer stood side by side, still wearing their friendship bracelets. The first family they served was a single mother with 3 children who'd been living in their car. Within a year, the mother had completed job training, the children were thriving in school, and they had stable housing. "Just like we dreamed," Sarah said, watching the children play in the center's library. "Better than we dreamed," Jennifer corrected, "because we're doing it together." Steve Harvey attended the opening. In his speech, he said, "Sometimes the most important phone calls come when you least expect them. Sometimes they come on national television. And sometimes they remind us that the best things in life, friendship, love, service to others, these things can survive anything, even 21 years of silence." He paused, looking at Sarah and Jennifer. "These two prove that some friendships are so strong, so pure, so necessary, that the universe itself conspires to bring them back together. And when it does, magic happens. 3,000 kids got to college because of that friendship. Thousands more will get help because of it. All because 2 18-year-old girls decided to be best friends and change the world together." Today, the Mitchell-Martinez Dream Center has helped over 500 families transition from homelessness to stability. Sarah and Jennifer work side by side every day, their friendship bracelets a little more faded, but still worn proudly. They've made up for lost time, their families blending seamlessly. Jennifer is Aunt Jenny to Sarah's kids, part of every holiday, every celebration, every ordinary Tuesday dinner. Their story became a book, with proceeds going to the center, speaking engagements at education conferences, a documentary. But through it all, they remained focused on the work and on each other. 21 years apart was hard, Jennifer said in a recent interview. But in some ways, it prepared us for this work. We know what separation feels like. We know what it means to hold on to hope when there's no logical reason to. We know that love and friendship can survive anything. And that's what we teach the families we serve. That no matter how dark it gets, connection and love will find a way. The phone that rang on Family Feud that day did more than reunite 2 friends. It proved that some bonds are unbreakable. That service to others creates ripples that last generations. And that sometimes, when you least expect it, life gives you back exactly what you need most. Sarah still wears her friendship bracelet. So does Jennifer. Purple and gold, faded but unbroken, like the friendship they represent. A reminder that true friendship doesn't end. It just waits patiently for the right moment to begin again.